Hey, so this is Dr. Bol Jock with Jikmir Developmental Model. And on the previous video, we discussed what is the Jikmir Developmental Model, which is a model of transitioning South Sudan villages into towns. And we looked at the Plato ideas of republic or a just society. And we also explore scientific management theory, which is breaking down the task into a very small, manageable size for people to be able to execute them. And we also explore Adam Smith's idea of division of labor. So those were the theories that we previously explored in relation to Jikmir Developmental Model. And I also mentioned that the foundation of Jikmir Developmental Model is security, because without security, you cannot be able to implement anything. All right, because people would just fear for their lives, and with that, the security has to be the foundation of any workable model. So with that, the Jikmir Developmental Model emphasized that there has to be security, and we look at it from the Maslow hierarchy of needs, which explain that the physiological needs is the basic need, followed by safety needs, and then love and belonging and self-esteem, right? But those basic needs has to be met first before we go to the next or to the higher needs. So that's why I'm saying the security is the foundation of what Jikmir Developmental Model is, right? And for that, we want to see how the current South Sudan security structure or security is a structure, right? It's a structure at the central government, and the central government distributes security to the lower level. However, the Jikmir Developmental Model proposed that to distribute or to delegate that level of security at the lower echelons, right? Which we could say it's at the Payam level. Then at the Payam level, we could say if there is security there, or there is some kind of security element that maintains security, then people will feel safe, right? So with that, let's look at how the Jikmir Development Model proposed the security element of South Sudan. First, let's look at it at the national level, right? The national level, we see there is the national military. The national military is responsible for external threats, and those external threats could be a country, could be other countries that is trying to invade the nation, right? So that's their focus, right? And if you look at it, you have the national police. The national police are also responsible for the internal security of the country, and then you have the national intelligence, which is basically collecting data for the other twos, for the national military and for the national police. However, the Jikmir Developmental Model wants to push that security even at the state level, right? So there would be a state police. So there's 10 states, so there would be police for each state, right? As you see on the left side. So those police would be responsible for the state headquarters security, providing security for that state, and then reinforce national police. So if there are incidents where the national police are not able to handle the problem, then they can call on the states to provide additional force for the police, and they can also even reinforce county police, because at the county level, they would have their own police to kind of deal with the issues. However, if there is some incident that occur that is outside of their capacity, then the state can be able to leverage their police to help them, right? And as we go down, we would look at the county police, and we would look and they would be responsible for county security, and they would be responsible for state for even reinforcing the police if they need to be. And then there would also be reinforcing Payam police. And then at the lower echelons or at the lower entities, we could see Payam police, which in this is where it is the security is absent in many South Sudan Payam, right? The security are almost maintained at the county and up, but at the Payam there is limited police presence there. So with this model, it's saying that if we could push the police or the police responsibility into Payam level or even at the Boma level, then now we are providing security for the whole country, because that's where the majority of people live. They live at the Payam and Boma level, right? The county is just administrative towns, right? So that's why it's saying the Jikmir Developmental Model is proposing that the security should be maintained at Payam and at Boma's level, and it has to be the local that is providing that policing, with reinforcement from the county, from the state, and even from the national, right? So if you look at the bottom left, you see they would be responsible for Payam security. So if you're able to cover all the Payam in South Sudan, or even at the Bomas, now you have the whole security of the country, and the national military, as you can see on top, can worry about outside external threats rather than inside and dealing with inside communal problems. So at the Payam level, the Jikmir Developmental Model is proposing that there has to be a security element there. And that security element, how would that look? So it would have a Payam police chief, and that police chief would be responsible for making sure there is security within the Payam town and all the jurisdiction that the Payam has, right? And that would include how many bomas within that Payam, and that police chief would be in close coordination with the town mayor, and then that town mayor would be in close coordination with the commissioner, and the commissioner would be in close coordination with the states, and they go up all the way to the central government. But this model is basically proposing that there should be a full security at every echelon or every entities within South Sudan, and even at the Payam, that would be reasonable to start, because there is central town, so there are central areas where the police chief and the mayor could be able to make coordinations with different entities within government, right? So that's what the Jikmir Developmental Model is proposing, is that the Payam and Bomas has to be prioritized, and it has to be the locals that are providing security, and yes, with the reinforcement from the governor or from the commissioner, and even resources, like all those resources will have to come from higher. But as far as providing security, it would have to be at the local level, and to make sure there is a full security within those areas, right? So that's it for Jikmir Developmental Model. It's proposing that push the security at the lower echelon where a lot of people live.